Hello? All right, we'll go ahead and get started. A few more people will probably be jumping on as we go, but we are recording this, so it can be sent out after as well. But hello, everyone. Wanted to thank you guys for taking your time out of the day to join us for a demonstration of Adaptive Insights. My name is Ryan Shackley. I'm in the Sales and Marketing Department here at Abakai. With me is Eduardo Bragan, who heads up our Adaptive Insights team here at Abakai. The purpose of today's webinar is to talk to you all about Adaptive Insights. So what we'll do is I'll take you through a few quick slides here about who we are at Abakai, what Adaptive Insights is, and how it is effectively being used at over 400 software-specific companies today. I will then turn it over to Eduardo, who will take you through a high-level demonstration of the Adaptive Insights solution. Now, just a few housekeeping notes. We are recording this presentation, as I said before. If you have any questions or want to discuss further after the webinar, please reach out to me at the information on the screen or respond to one of the many emails I've likely sent you over the past few weeks. We scheduled 30 minutes and we will do our best to keep it at that. I expect that you guys all read through this disclaimer thoroughly, so I'll move on from that slide. Now, here at Abakai, we're a full certified partner of multiple different software solutions. The two biggest are NetSuite Oracle, which is a full service ERP financial software package that some of you likely use already, and Adaptive Insights, which is a Workday company, and is the main reason we're here talking to you today. Now, over the years, we have worked with many companies over a wide range of industries to implement both Adaptive Insights and NetSuite. Software and technology companies, as you can see, is one of the industries we've actually found a lot of success in. Now, to give you an idea of how effective both Adaptive and NetSuite are at helping software companies grow, there are over 1,500 software-specific companies that are currently using NetSuite. And again, over 400 software-specific companies that are currently using Adaptive Insights. Now, at Abakai, being a full certified partner means not only can we sell you the licensing on the software, but we're also a full implementation and services partner. We will integrate all your software, do any customizations you need, map all your data to get the appropriate reports and KPIs you need, provide full training of staff, and support you during and after you go live to make sure that you are successful with the software. Our success at Abakai is determined by your success as our partner. Now, as a finance leader, it's your role to help guide the strategic vision while also ensuring your company is prepared to execute on that vision. For every stage of this journey, there needs to be a strong foundation to ensure that your company has the capabilities, infrastructure, and talent in place to dramatically improve the chances of success. Focus on developing the best and most efficient active planning process to manage, measure, and report on financials and data, and then track against that to figure out where the benchmark should be for the business. Meanwhile, hone a strong data-driven point of view to help guide leadership in making the right moves at the right time. Here at Abakai, we strongly believe using Adaptive Insights will allow you to achieve this vision. Adaptive Insights is the #1 cloud business planning software on the market. It takes all your important data points and all your different software, compiles them into one system where you can slice and dice the data in any form or fashion to get the information and insight you need to make more informed decisions in a real-time manner. It allows you to build and model any report that you need, be able to analyze all aspects of your business, whether it be financial, operational, or performance, and basically monitor the business the way it should be. Adaptive allows for easy integration with pretty much any software that is being used in the software or any other industry for that matter. Whether you're using NetSuite, Salesforce, Microsoft, Intech, QuickBooks, proprietary software, or even spreadsheets, Adaptive can integrate with pretty much all of them, whether it's cloud-based or hosted locally. Once the data is compiled into one view, there are limitless possibilities of what you can do with that data. Get the KPIs you need, whether it be in dashboard, report, board book form, etc. KPIs such as budgeting, MRR or ARR under contract, churn rate, customer retention rate, customer lifetime value, customer experience, revenue growth rate, pipeline forecasting, trends, scenarios, and so much more. Basically, model anything, analyze everything. Again, it's one comprehensive view of your entire business. Now, at this point, I'm going to pass it over to Eduardo to take you through a high-level demonstration of the Adaptive software. Now, while he's getting set up with that, just wanted to remind you, if you have any questions or want to talk further about Adaptive or even NetSuite, please don't hesitate to contact us. My information's there. And then again, we'll follow up with you after the fact as well. So, Eduardo, do you have control?
You need to stop so I can share my screen.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, thank you. Can you guys see my screen, Brian?
Yes.
Okay. So guys, thank you for the time you guys are taking today to go through this quick demo here. Again, my name is Eduardo Braga, and I run our Adaptive Insights practice at Abacai. Just real quick here, I'll just go, I'll start my demo just kind of doing a high level kind of functional overview. Then I go through like the visualizations and then a little bit into how we do some of the integration and how we input data into the system, and go a little bit more in detail into some models that are pertinent to your industry, and that's how we're going to finish it. Again, if you guys have any other questions, or if you want a more detailed type of demo, I'll gladly take 1 hour, 2 hours, as long as it takes to discuss this with you guys. So anyways, Adaptive Insights is also a SaaS business. So as such, you can easily access it from anywhere, as long as you have an internet access and a web browser. Once you log in, you should be, it's fairly intuitive. You have the hamburger menu here, which allows you to see everything. One thing that I'm going to tell you guys right away is that everything from a security perspective is role-based. So users, certain users will only see certain parts of the menu, and will only be able to access certain functionalities, and so on and so forth. The same thing goes for the data side. If a user is assigned to only a certain region or a certain department, let's put it this way, he will only be able to see the data that pertains to him. So just a couple more things here. I'll go to modeling. This is kind of the main menu for developing all your models and then kind of running everything. From a versions perspective, you can have as many plans, budgets, forecast versions, and eventually you can compare version to version. You can also break down your actuals into different versions, in many different versions, as long as you need to have a bit of adjustments, or to have something else that's not your primary kind of actuals. Couple of other things here before I go into this is how you do all your setup, how you set up your company, you set up your dimensions, you set up a general ledger accounting structure, you create all your metric accounts, your custom accounts, or your assumption accounts, so on and so forth. Sheets, it's what we use to do models. So you have, I'll show you some in detail, some level sheets and some user assigned sheets, and also a few extra functionality items here that I just like to mention that Adaptive is capable of, is definitely having multi-currency. So we would be able to input exchange rates. We have a separate transaction module where we put all the transaction information, so we can drill down from the higher level all the way to the detailed transaction information. And we can also create some allocation rules for your models, be it in actuals or in budget. So at the end of the day, we can always compare apples to apples. Okay, going more into the visualization side, Adaptive Insights offers 3 types of visualizations. One is called Discovery, which is your dashboarding type of tool. Let me get this dashboarding type of tool. So as you can see here, these dashboards can be personal, or they can be shared within the entire company or within only certain users. And we have a wide range of kind of graphs and type of dashboards that you can use. So here's just a few samples. And this is kind of geared towards you guys, you know, kind of having your ARR, your upsell versus churn, and stuff like that. Your CAC, sales, revenue and COGS, of course, KPIs, marketing pipeline, you know, do analysis on your benchmark, operational expenses, cash, etc. The cool thing here is, you know, you have this filters here. You can always filter out by, you know, either the type of currencies you have or how you break down your company. You can go to the details of each company and things of that sort, right? So in this case here, we had broken down our structure into sales by region. So for example, if you click in North, all the dashboards get updated accordingly. Of course, I don't have any data for October, but like if you do it for January, sorry, I don't have the data in here anyways. But I think you guys get the point. One extra thing that I want to say, whatever visualization tools that I show you guys, you can always do some drill down and start getting to the details of the data. So for example, here you can always see this 4.1 and see the details of it, and you can always explore data and really get into the details of what makes up this data. For example, here, if we go into the July, you'll see where the data is coming from. It's a formula that's adding upsell, deleting churn, and adding new ARR in this case. So this is kind of just a quick overview of dashboarding. We can set up the tool, so whenever you log into the tool, you easily access dashboards, and you can start doing your analysis right away on how things are going with the company, on a budget versus actual perspective, on a forecast perspective, whatever it is you need to do. Our second type of reporting is called HTML reports. So those are the reports we run online, and you can easily check things. I'll just open one here for you guys. Real quick, I'll just run a balance sheet. And you can see your entire chart of accounts here. You can run your balance sheet. You can add filters here to run at different companies, at different regions, if you have balance sheets set up at different regions. But then again, you also have the drill down capabilities, like I said, anywhere in the tool. So if you click on this number here, you will start drilling down into the details. So in this case, this number is broken down by sales, marketing. If you click on sales, you'll keep showing where it comes from, so on and so forth. And so this is pretty standard. The good thing of this report, it's always online. You can go and check it out. The bad thing about this, and I do the implementation, and I hear my clients complain about this all the time, is that if we export this, it's not cool. It doesn't look nice. So in order to fix this, Adaptive Insights came out with a Microsoft add-on. So this add-in works for Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. So you can create your highly customizable reports here, you know, all very nicely formatted. And on a month-to-month basis, all you have to do is go to the add-in that Adaptive created, which is called Office Connect. You know, change your workbook properties to run for the month that you want it to run for example. And then all you have to do is click refresh, and the data will refresh with the latest information for that month. And the great thing here is you can still use all the functionality that Excel provides, be it, you know, doing some charting or doing some extra formulas, some extra pivots, any way you guys like to do your analysis. Also in here, you know, clicking on a cell, you can always click on Explore Cell, and this will take you back to Adaptive Insights. This open a screen, a different screen here. This will take you back to Adaptive Insights and actually go through the drill down capabilities that I was just showing you guys on the on the other visualization tools. So drill down capabilities works from every single reporting stream that you choose to use. Anyway, so this is just kind of a quick review of Office Connect. Again, we have an Office Connect add-in into PowerPoint presentations as well, and Word documents as well. So it's all based on Excel. So if the Excel changes, the PowerPoint gets updated accordingly, and so does the Excel. I'm going to talk a little bit now about how we get data into the system, right? So there's two main ways to get data into the system. One is through the very solid integration platform that Adaptive has created. And I'll just go real quick through this. Oops. So as Ryan has mentioned in his introduction here, we can connect to a lot of different types of systems here, and I'll just go through kind of their main adapters here. So custom cloud data source allows you to connect to any SaaS type of software. Intact is one of the ERP systems that has a delivered connectors. JDBC database allows you to connect to any on-premise, SQL server. Microsoft Dynamics is also another delivered ERP connector. NetSuite is also a delivered ERP connector, and so is Salesforce. So all this Sage, Dynamics, NetSuite, and Salesforce, it's as easy as putting your user ID and password for the systems, and you have pretty much access to their entire table structure. So you can bring the actuals or whatever data is in the systems very easily into the tool. And of course, you have your normal, spreadsheet upload as well that can be used. Well, the great thing about this, once you make these initial connections to these data sources, you're going to use the loader to map how those accounts will match to the accounts that live and breathe inside Adaptive. So it's always a one-to-one kind of. So you're always comparing the same things inside Adaptive, although it's coming from a million different sources. And then once you transform the data, you create what's called a task, which is nothing more than a loader, and you can run this loader. You can set this loader, this scheduler to run daily, monthly, weekly, and then define what times and what not. So this is kind of one way to bring data into. Of course, you can always do type of manual imports into any models we create or things like that using your, you export into Excel and importing here. If you don't want to get fancy in a first kind of step in an implementation, you can always bring things manually using this import panel. So the second way you can actually input data into the system is actually using the templates or models that you have created, and then input them and then go into these models and input them. These sheets are all models that have been created in this tool, and I'll go through in detail through some of them. But if a user has only access to a certain place, to a certain region, he will be able to see the sheet and only enter the data for that certain place, for the certain region. So just real quick here, I'll go through price times volume. And we always need to think that this is somewhat like kind of a bottoms-up approach. So we try never to enter data at the top level. We always bring data at the lowest level possible on your company structure. So you'll see easily here that, everything that's not highlighted gray, it's an input into the system. So you can easily come in here and say, hey, for my January, I'm expecting 25 new logos. You click enter. Once you hit save, that change, it's automatically saved into the version that you're working on, and then the numbers are consolidated, and then you can run your actual versus budget right away, or you can run your forecast versus your budget, or do a bunch of different analysis and what if analysis. So this is kind of the way you would either bring data into the system or a normal user would come in and input the data into the models that you have created. Moving on to the models, I want to kind of show you a few models that are pertinent to your industry and to you guys. So we usually model things that have big impacts on our P&L and our balance sheet, cash flow, and whatnot. So a few of them that I'll try to go a little bit more in detail is one of them is your personnel sheet, right? Oops. One is your personnel. So here we can create a model that will have every single employee in your company, and we'll put detailed information that are pertinent to what kind of expenses you're trying to get of it. Of course, we'll put salary, you know, if he has health benefits, pension plans, when we expect raise date, pay raise date, if it's a yearly employee, if it's a monthly employee, from what part of the company he belongs, if he has access to bonus, if he has access to commission, so on and so forth. And then we will create specific calculations behind. So all these things like your FUTA, your FUTA, your SUTA, your bonus, your commissions, your salary on a monthly basis gets calculated and then gets aggregated and eventually gets linked to your, you know, to your normal account, so you can have an actual versus budget. And here, sky's the limit as to how many things you want to calculate. Of course, we can also play with different, you know, parts of the company from different countries and use currency conversions and so on and so forth. And not only have, you know, your normal roster, but you can also say, hey, I will need a new hire that will start in August, and he'll get paid this much. And as soon as you put this new hire and you hit save, the impact of this new hire on your P&L will show right away, right? Of course, here I'm just taking a look at the North, but I can also take a look at the entire company here. And only if I have access to it, I would be able to see. One great thing that they added as well is that from a salary standpoint, only who has access to a functionality that's called salary detail will be able to access this sheet and view all the salary information for the entire company or for their own specific regions or department. I'll talk real briefly about just a few more other like expense type of models that I usually do for them. One is software vendor expenses. So we really list all software companies and how much we plan to spend on a yearly basis. Travel expenses, it's kind of the same. How many people are gonna travel for how many days? And then what we create is an assumption sheet that says, we create an assumption sheet that has all this type of rates and all this type of information, like our social security type of rates, FUTA, SUTA, compensation, so on and so forth. So this kind of like only a few people have access to it, and this is kind of works as a trigger to your models and what if analysis. So changing here will definitely change how everything gets recalculated on your model, be it in the personnel side, I'm sure we have some, I'll talk about revenue in a bit, and we'll definitely have some travel assumptions as to how much is an average cost of an airfare is and things of that sort. Going a little bit more into some of the models that are pertinent to you guys. I'll talk a little bit about revenue models here. So I know for the SaaS business here, we need, you guys usually have 2 or 3 types of methodologies to calculate your revenue. One is kind of your sales quota. So I'll just go real quick here through sales rep capacity, where you're really, you know, how many reps you are expecting per month, how many ramp ups, what's the quota, so on and so forth. Again, this is total company, it gets aggregated. but I'll just go through the north here so you can see where you would enter the data. And then you can, this is kind of a cube sheet, a cube model, and you can create as many dimensions as you want. So that's, you can really get to the detail of your revenue by creating as many dimensions as you need. So this is just a few examples here. Right, so you would have your sales quota. So this is kind of a sample to show how you would do a model on that. Second model here would be your price per volume. So I think I kind of showed you guys that, how to enter data on this one. Same thing with price per volume. You can have as many dimensions as needed. Here is by product. You would expect how many logos, what's your average deal, and then you let the tool calculate the rest. And then we would link this to the revenue line in your GL and be able to do an actual versus budget, actual versus forecast, or budget version versus budget version based on assumptions, so on and so forth. One more here that I'll go, it's kind of your, where is it? You know, your third methodology is usually like your pipeline database. So this is kind of a model sheet, and usually I integrate the sheets to your Salesforce tables, and I bring all the opportunities that are still open in there. And then in here we create some kind of a flag to assign the probability of that opportunity closing or not, and then we sum it up the revenues, and that's how we would calculate the revenue in this case. And the good thing about this, you know, although we have 3 types of methodologies here to calculate revenue, we can also go create a new sheet where, you know, we get our beginning ARR, you know, how many new ARR upsells, so on and so forth. And here we have our ARR methodologies here. And we can create a trigger to either like choose which methodology we are going to use, or we can create a mix of them to say, hey, you know, I want 96% of my budget to come from the price volume mix, and then 4% for the pipeline, and we can change that on a monthly basis, so on and so forth. So it really gives you control over what you need and how you want to budget and forecast. I think we're coming close here to the presentation. So this is kind of like I know it's a very fast demo. I hope you guys kind of get the idea about the functionality of the tool, and I hope I was able to show you how easy this tool can be from just an user input perspective, how powerful it is by using all these modeling tools that we have, and how fast it is for you to, you know, change or, you know, be able to be reactive and create a new version and just change assumptions and be able to make a comparison between versions and be able to make a comparison between actual versus budget. And then in the end of the day, it's all about how you report and how you get, you know, be able to do your analysis either by using your dashboards or your HTML reports in your Office Connect. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Ryan, I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, I mean, as Eduardo said, we're up on the half an hour, so I just wanted to thank everyone again for your time today. Again, to reiterate what Eduardo said, we're kind of threw a lot at you in a very short time frame. So you're the appropriate rep for everyone on. We'll get a hold of you guys to, you know, if you guys are interested, we'd like to have a deeper conversation kind of about about your business, and then, you know, see how it could be tied into Adaptive. And then we can do longer demos and have longer conversations about that moving forward. So again, thanks for your time. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope to talk to you here soon. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.